Some necessary user research that a designer will have to go through before designing the socket would be to do as much research online as they can, or find some amputees and talk to them, ask them about their own experiences and what do they feel about the prosthetic socket, what they think they can change. And this can be done in form of personal interviews, or you can do contact the amputees through a survey, asking them different questions pertaining to their prosthetic sockets, or talking to different prosthetists or other prosthetic professionals. Okay, in developing a prosthetic socket, the patient or the amputee goes to visit the clinic where the prosthetist works, and they meet with the prosthetist, and then the prosthetist takes measurements of the residual limb, and after taking measurements, the prosthetist takes a plaster cast of the residual limb just to get the shape of the residual limb, and this is, the prosthetist usually calls that a negative mold, because it's just like a big shape of the residual limb. And then the prosthetist makes markings on the mold of where the bone is closer to the surface, or mostly where the bone is closer to the surface, because mostly the rest of the residual limb has enough body to protect the bone. The process started with taking the plaster mold from my prosthetist, bringing it to the lab, and then placing it in good lighting, position it right. However, you can position it in a way that you can see every side of the molds from top to the edges, and then you take pictures at 360-degree angle, overlapping pictures of the mold, both in parallel and bird's eye view, and then the pictures can add up to 100 or more, or even 70 and more. It depends on how many pictures are looking good and working that show each step of the mold. And then after you get all those pictures, you upload them on Remake. Then Remake is designed in a way that it can sort out all the good pictures and use those. But if you have few good pictures, then there will be holes in your mold in Remake, in which case you will have to retake the pictures until you get a good working model in Remake. So using Remake in this process is very important because it allows you to take the 2D images that you took of the positive mold and makes them into a 3D model that is digital and an exact replica of the residual limb. So once the 3D model is made in Remake, it has some extra materials from the surrounding the environment where you took the pictures. And so the next step is to edit and cut out all the unnecessary material that came with the pictures. And so you have just the 3D mold with you. And once you think it's clean the way you want from Remake, you can upload it into Fusion 360. Import it into Fusion 360. And in Fusion 360, that's where the real work really begins, because that's where you can edit the mold, cut it up in the way you want it, add the adjustability components, and pretty much the whole process that leads to 3D printing.